All right, so this is one that really took me by surprise. I thought it was an Onion headline, and nobody was tipped off. You know, in a day and age where we know the draft picks before they happen, or we know trades before the teams announce it, or this was from the clouds. The PGA and LIV Golf merged. And obviously, unless you live under a rock, the backstory is simple. PGA destroyed LIV. Monahan, the president of the PGA, we have some audio we'll play for you. But it was more to the players, right? The mainstream media just crushed guys like Koepka and Johnson. And I said from the start, as we always say, multiple things could be true. You don't have to like who's signing the checks. But if somebody offers you enough money, Dustin Johnson and Koepka and the rest would have been idiots to say no. They were given life-changing money and a better schedule. Brooks Koepka, I play 10 tournaments a year. I make $100 million. I mean, I'm taking the money. And what you had was and again, now they just look like ridiculous human beings and hypocrites. But it's this whole idea, like this wokeism, where like, I'm not going to cover LIV Golf. All right, Spank, what are you going to do now?
You know, you're taking money from the Saudis.
Right. So does our government. So, I mean, can we just please, like I said from the beginning, why are we making PGA golfers and putting them up on the pedestal and going, okay, the world's integrity is now up to you. They're golfers. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, be done with it. You don't have to like who signs your checks. But, oh, my God, these guys got crushed. And now, a year later, out of nowhere, the very organization, I mean, Rory McIlroy's got to be hiding in a dark room. Jay Monahan, the president of the PGA, you got the audio of what he said when LIV first started, right? Take a listen to what he said when it first started, and then I'm going to read to you with a straight face what this joker said today. We're going to play a fun game. Take a listen to this, Kenny. A few moments later, we are pleased to move forward in step with LIV and PIF's world-class investing experience. And I applaud PIF Governor Yasir Al-Rumayyan for his vision and collaborative, forward-thinking approach that is not just a solution to our rift in our game, but also a commitment to taking it to new heights, Rico. This will engender a new era in global golf for the better. Close quote.
In the words...
Tell me you're a shameless scumbag without telling me. And again, I can't even be mad, but I'm not the one who went out doing 9/11 blasts like Monahan. Yeah, but are you kidding me?
Mike, in the words of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, everybody's got a price. We just found out that the PGA was a little bit more. But yeah, all the sanctimonious, oh, no. We're better than them. That's pretty much a rinky-dink league. Go ahead, take the money. Real golf is being played with us.
There was a headline in USA Today 4 days ago by a golf writer. Despite Mickelson's bluster, he's still a pawn for murderers. Where's that guy today? How about Chambly? Noted PGA commentator. Guy crushes LIV at every turn, acting, oh, my God, these players are rogue and they're vigilante. Do me a favor then. You're going to have a real hard time working now. See, this is the laugher in all of this. Like, guys, there are bad people everywhere. All right? You don't have to like who signs the checks. But it has always been a ridiculous thing to me where you let governments off the hook and expect athletes to somehow be the moral authority. You know what Dustin Johnson is or Brooks Koepka is? They're businessmen.
Yep.
And business is good.
But if you went with LIV last year, you were looked at as the scum of the earth, and people were going to boo you, and they were not going to like you. And to some people, Mike, you had your advertisers, your agents, and people telling you it's going to hurt your image. You won't be able to hawk products. You won't be able to do all of this stuff.
How's life for Brooks Koepka right now?
It's pretty freaking sweet. Yeah.
So I just want to know from the golf elite.
Still wondering how Tiger turned down $1 billion. He's got to be sick right now. You know he's calling Moynihan, and Moynihan's not answering the phone. That's Tiger again. He's a little upset.
I mean, look, you have guys. Here's what I wanted to do is kind of like when you turn on the sprinkler, right? And you're watering the lawn. All right, I'm just going to throw stuff out there, and I want you guys to attack what you want to attack. I mean, biggest bombshell story of the year. No one knew. I watched an interview, by the way. This was theater. Did you see Monahan and the guy from the Saudi investment fund? I can't pronounce his name. I don't care. Together doing an interview on CNBC this morning?
I did not.
Oh, my God. Amazing. The fact that
holding hands.
I mean, he's got the balls. This is the same guy who was doing 9/11 blasts. And now you're sitting next to this guy and talking about how wonderful he is, how amazing this is going to be. Look, the overriding thing, beyond making fun of Monahan, beyond thinking how much of a joke. Look, and I talked about this yesterday. Look, we're seeing this all over the place. I mean, what Churchill Downs did and their statement and how laughable their statement was. And we don't need to get into it now. It's on the podcast. My point is, I don't take anybody seriously because the hypocrisy, I mean, whether it's the Big Ten, Churchill Downs, PGA, Roger Goodell, guys.
There's a common thread, common theme. It's money.
Oh, God, yeah. But here's the other thing now. This is where I think people miss the point that when LIV was created, and I swear we talked about this, this is Saudi Arabia has more money than they know what to do with. And they're going to begin investing it in sports. Hey, newsflash, they bought Newcastle. Not that anyone cares about the EPL on this show, and not that anyone cares about Newcastle, because frankly, the Geordie accent is one of the hardest things to understand on the planet. If you've ever talked to somebody from Newcastle, can't understand them. The point is, Newcastle already qualified for the Champions League 1 year in. People in England will tell you, nobody's going to be able to compete with Newcastle for players because nobody can write a bigger check. Saudi Arabia just paid a guy $215 million a year to play soccer there. Saudi Arabia is buying sports. Sports are a great investment. So you know what's next? Something like the NBA. Why? They got more money than God. It's a global sport.
You think they like college football?
If they want the Big Ten, it's available. Guys, this is what it is. So until or unless you're going to have some kind of moral authority police for governments, I don't know how you're going to have a moral authority police for businessmen and athletes. So that's why I've left it alone. You can say, oh, it's sports washing. Yeah, it probably is. The difference is I didn't go out there saying we're not going to talk about it.
Right. This is you're on your high horse saying we're better than you.
Hey, listen, if Saudi Arabia wanted to pay me $50 million a year to do a stupid radio show, I got news for you. Changing area codes, Rico. See you later.
Like, what? Wait a minute. Where you going?
Telemar! I'm out. But because, again, I live in the real world. When you set up these ivory towers, you can't function.
We're better than this. You never have to apologize for being a PGA golfer.
So here's my question. For dyed-in-the-wool golf fans, does this affect you? Does this bother you? Do you not care? Again, how do you take anything the PGA says seriously here on out? Do you agree with my point that this is the beginning stages of the Saudi, the PIF fund, if you will? They are dropping anchor in sports. So it's not going to stop here. I have news for you. If they wanted an NFL team, and let's say they wanted the Washington football team, $7 billion, make it $8 billion. Make it 10. Make it 12. It doesn't matter.
They'll set the new standard.
Right. So my point is it's not going to stop. So whether it's your favorite golfer or your favorite team, this is just the beginning. Now, you've got Monahan. You've got whether you care as a fan. You've got how this was covered in the media, which I think is absolutely laughable by some. I want to know what you think of players who decided to stick around. How odd is their life going to be?
Right.
Like if you're Rory McIlroy, all you've done is crush these people. Now they own you. Mm-hmm. Saudi Arabia and the PIF own golf globally.
And
they own it.
Yeah, and pretty much every golfer who decided to take the money with LIV, you won today.
Oh, yes.
You won. It was the antithesis of crypto. You actually won. You see the money.
I'll stay away from that one. You win because the whole crypto thing's always been lost on me. 248-539-9797. And I generally like to laser in on one angle, but not with this.
You can't. There's so many different layers to this.
I'm still amazed in 2023. They were able to keep this so quiet that the PGA, which prides itself on being a member institution, no leaks. No one knew. No one even knew they were meeting with, quote, the enemy. And they just dropped a bombshell, and they're on CNBC this morning.
Yeah, I got to think, because you know what? It was probably a very, very small circle who were like, yeah, they're offering this money, and we're going to go ahead and take it. And yeah, this is
the juxtaposition of Monahan's quotes are so delicious. It's why it was always ridiculous to take that approach from the start, because you're not living in reality.
No. And what you find out is there are two things in life that are undefeated, and money is one.
Please do not say the other. 248-539-97. Well, you already have before, and we had to correct it. So we're just not doing that today.
No, okay. I said that was Kenny.
248-539. 9797. I'd love to hear from you. We've got a couple open lines. Golfers, we need the golf elite to the main stage. Sports fans to the main stage. You got a buffet, and you choose what you want to put in the plate.